Sacred Beasts are getting support in Chaos Origin. I've always been a fan of the Sacred Beasts, and I guess we'll wait and see if this makes them any better for now, because I don't think the deck has ever been playable outside of like Dark Beckoning Beast being abused in Yugioh, but here we are, and we start off with a banger. Now, I don't even care about the effect of this card. This card looks awesome, all right? There's no way around it, man. I'm so happy. I am so happy we have these cards now. I know I've said this every time they announced a new overframe, but man, is that good. Okay, what does it do? It is Phantasmal Sacred Beasts of Chaos, a level 10 Dark Fiend, 5k, 5k. Materials, 3 level 10 monsters that cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by sending the above cards you control to the graveyard. You can only special summon Phantasmal Sacred Beasts of Chaos once per turn this way, no matter which method you use. The first 2 times this card would be destroyed by card effect each turn. It is not destroyed thrice per turn and once per chain. Quick effect, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn, then you can gain life points equal to half its attack. Okay, that strikes me as not that crazy. You can cheat this card out with Heavy Poly and Saint Azamina. Yeah. Wait, you take 0 damage for that, right? Saint Azamina is 0. Appaloosa 2. This card is not even close to Appaloosa, fortunately. There's a huge, massive difference between negating any monster effect in response to it or basically effect Bailer. This is like 3 effect Bailers, which is not bad, but at the same time, I feel like it's, I mean, we have to read the rest of the cards. Maybe it's incredibly easy to summon, which makes it good, but realistically, summoning 3 level 10 monsters that cannot be normal summoned or set is probably quite the challenge, and this feels like it's appropriate payoff for that, if not even a little bit too weak. But we'll see. It's look, I don't even care if it's bad. It looks awesome. Okay. Ooh, they're retraining the bee. Is there a retrain for all? Ooh, there is. Okay, we have the Uriah retrain. Lord of the Searing Flames, Sacred Beast of Cataclysmic Fire. That looks awesome. Do these get overframes as well? I hope they do. It'd be a shame if they don't. Okay, this is a level 10 Pyro, 0 attack, 0 defense. Cannot be normal summon or set, of course. Must be special summoned with a Sacred Beast card. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You can reveal this card in your hand, add a Sacred Beast trap from your deck to your hand, then discard a card. Gains 1000 attack for each trap in the grave. Once per turn, quick effect. You can target a spell trap on the field, destroy it. Neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation. Okay. I don't know exactly what the targets are for a Sacred Beast trap. Maybe we'll look at that in a second. But in theory, this is good. I like when they do this, or at least it's a very good concept for making cards playable if like the big monsters have an effect for consistency in hand. So that way, when you draw the big monster that you can't easily summon, at least it does something, you know, like the Illusion of Chaos type treatment slash effect is really good on this one if the traps are good, right? The on-field effect is kind of whatever, but I assume like you just use it as a consistency card and then you cheat it out sometimes and just get a spell trap pop, which is fine. But okay. Now we have Hamon, Lord of Striking Thunder, Sacred Beast of Sinful Catastrophe. Same stats as Hamon. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned with the Sacred Beast card. You can only use the first effect once per turn. Reveal this card in... Oh, I see. You can reveal this card in your hand, add a Sacred Beast spell from your... okay. It's because Hamon is the one with the continuous spells. Uriah is the one with the continuous traps. So this one searches traps. This one searches spells. And then the Raviel probably searches monsters. Okay. Once per turn, if a monster is sent to your opponent's grave, inflict 1000 damage. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can activate this effect. You take no damage for the rest of this turn. Okay. This is also on field, kind of whatever. But it is a 4k beat stick, I guess, if you can summon it. And the effect in hand. I mean, we have to read the rest of the cards first. But usually searching a spell is a lot stronger than searching a trap, unless the traps are really good. Maybe they have a trap with an effect in the graveyard, and then you can search and immediately discard it. But the spell searcher, this is definitely a good card, right? Okay. And then we have Raviel, Sacred Beast of Endless Eternity. Cannot be normal summon or set, must be special with a Sacred Beast card. You can only use the first effect once per turn. Reveal this card in your hand, add a Sacred Beast monster from your deck to your hand except Raviel, then discard a card. Once per turn, quick effect, you contribute 2 other Sacred Beasts, destroy as many monsters your opponent controls, and if you do, this card gains 1000 attack for each card destroyed. Now, this is probably the best one so far for 2 reasons. The first reason is, since it searches monsters, it can search the other 2. So by extension, this one basically searches everything, right? If you need a spell, you search Hamon and then you activate Hamon. If you need a trap, you search Uriah, then you use Uriah. Also, it has the best on-field effect, right? This is an actual disruption. This is a pretty powerful disruption. I mean, having to tribute 2 other monsters is also a steep cost, but being a quick effect, you can use this when you're playing into a board or when you set it up on your first turn. This is pretty strong. Right? Okay, so those are the 3 retrains, and then we got more over here. We have the Orchestrator of the Sacred Beast, which is also a really cool looking card. Is this based on the creator? It looks like it, right? Does the creator have anything to do with the Sacred Beast? It does have creator stats as well. That is awesome. I'm a big fan of the creator. It's a cool card. Level 8 Light Thunder effect monster. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can reveal this card in your hand, discard 1 card, and if you do, special summon a Sacred Beast from your hand in defense position except a level 8 monster, so it cannot summon itself. You can discard 1 card, special a Sacred Beast from hand or grave in defense position except a level 8 or the discarded card. You can banish this card from your grave, special summon a Sacred Beast from your grave in defense position except a level 8. Okay. Now, I would say each of these individual effects are not that great, but the combination of all 3 could make it solid. You know, the ability to cheat them out from your hand with the first effect, or get them out of the hand or graveyard if itself is on the field, or you can also discard it for all of the other ones, right? All of the other ones can discard it, and then you can bring 1 back for free, so it's a decent discard as well. Yeah, technically, I guess the idea of this card is that it can summon 3 of them in 1 turn, right? This could be your way to summon all of them. If you use the effect in hand, you can summon 1. Then you have to get it onto the field somehow, though, right? To get the second effect, and then it has to go into the graveyard somehow, and you get the 3rd one. It is a thunder monster. You can search it with the new thunder thingy. It also activates in your hand, so it does make it so you can summon Colossus, which I guess this deck could do now. So far we have no locks, so this deck could be making Colossus. Okay. Martyr of the Sacred Beasts, level 1 Dark Fiend 0/0. So this is Dark Beckoning Beast support basically. You can only use the first, second, and third effect once per turn each. If this card is normal or special, you can place a Sacred Beast field spell or continuous spell trap from your deck face up to your field. Okay, so Sacred Beast field spell or continuous spell does not include the opening of the Spirit Gates. That is not a Sacred Beast card. Don't they have a crazy field spell though, right? Hold up. Is that card called Sacred Beast? The one that like draws cards? Fallen Paradise? Okay, so it's not called Sacred Beast. Do they even have Sacred Beast cards? Is it a new thing? Hold up. Sacred Beast. Oh, they barely have anything. Okay, yeah. So these are the existing cards. If you look for Sacred Beast in the database, the only existing card is Awakening of the Sacred Beast. And this card is not that great. Yeah, okay, so it's all new stuff. Okay, that's good. We don't have to think of any other old synergies. Okay, so I guess we'll have to wait and see how good the field spell and continuous spell is. If you control another Sacred Beast monster, you can special summon 2 Martyr of the Sacred Beasts from your hand, deck, and or grave. Ooh. During your opponent's end phase, if this card and a level 10 Sacred Beast are in your grave, you can add this card to your hand. That seems good. That's concerning. There's no lock on this. This is just 3 link materials or exceed materials or whatever for free. Yeah, this is technically full yummy combo as well. You do need another Sacred Beast on the field. And if these are... Since we are starting with the spells now, these are all the Sacred Beasts we have. So this is not actually that easy to do. I will say. Also, you cannot fulfill the condition with another copy of itself, right? Like, technically, if you control 2 of this, you do fulfill the condition, but you have to summon 2 of them. So if 2 of them are on your field, you cannot have 2 of them left in your hand, deck, or graveyard. So, yeah. I guess the most relevant effect for now is that it gets you the field spell or continuous spell, which is the way it would start you off, probably. Okay, Unleashing the Sacred Beast, normal spell card. Artwork on this, once again, phenomenal. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Add 3 Sacred Beast monsters with different names from your deck to your hand, then discard 2 cards. But that is still crazy. If this card is in your grave, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it to add a level 10 Pyro, Thunder, or Fiend that cannot be normal summoned or set from your deck to your hand. Okay. That's a crazy consistency card. That is a crazy consistency card. Add 3 and then discard any 2. That's like that's like Graceful Charity, but it targets. It's Graceful Charity, but it targets your draws. But you can still discard anything. That's good. And it also has a follow-up effect. That's pretty crazy. All right. Here's the field spell. Fallen Paradise of the Sacred Beasts. Field spell. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. Thrice per turn. Okay, then. You can send 3 other cards of the same type. Monster, spell, trap. From your hand and or face-up field to the grave. Then you can special a Sacred Beast from hand, deck, grave, or banishment. And if you do, it's unaffected by activated spell traps effect from your opponent. If you control a Sacred Beast monster whose original level is 10, you can draw 2 cards. This is what I was referring to. They already had one of those cards. I believe it was just called Fallen Paradise. It feels like they're retraining not just the Sacred Beast, but the entire archetype, right? Because this thing is like, if you have one of them, you just draw 2 cards. But you have to actually have the original Uriah, Hamon, or Raviel. It feels like they actually don't want you to play those cards anymore. Right? You're not supposed to play the OG gods. You're also not supposed to play the OG field spell. You're supposed, like, everything is new, right? It's everything. The Sacred Beasts are getting a retrain, but even the spell traps are getting revamps. Like okay, which is an interesting way of doing it, because of course, like, this is one of the main concerns when they make legacy support. It's like, okay, well, now I have to play those old cards, and sometimes that's bad, right? Because those cards are just like, I mean, having a Uriah in your hand is not great. And so I kind of like this way of doing it. I kind of like the way of retraining the entire thing into a new deck that still has like similar aesthetics, right? Like you still play the Sacred Beasts. It's like kind of like alt arts, but they also have new upgraded effects, which is cool. And they also reworked the entire archetype around it, which is cool, I think. And then we've got Skyfire of the Sacred Beasts, which is the continuous spell, which you can also add with the little guy. You can only use the first and second effect each once per turn. During your main phase, you can place 2 Skyfires from your hand, deck, or grave to your field. Then you can reveal a level 10 Sacred Beast monster in your hand. Then you can place a Fallen Paradise of the Sacred Beast from your deck face up in your field zone. During your opponent's end phase, if this card's in your grave, add it to your hand. During your main phase, place 2 Skyfires. Then reveal a level 10. Then get the field spell. So this is just a very fancy way of getting the field spell. You get 3 continuous spells. Ah, you can immediately send them. I see. The idea is activate Skyfire, place 2 more Skyfires, get the field spell, and then the 3 Skyfires in your spell trap zone can be used as fodder to immediately summon one of the Sacred Beasts and then draw 2 cards. I have a question. I have a genuine question. Is this not a really good generic draw engine? Because hear me out. You played even outside of the archetype, all right? You played the Hamon. You play 3 copies of the Skyfire, which is not a problem that you have to play 3 because they all are starters basically, right? And you play 1 copy of the field spell. The field spell is the brick in this equation, pretty much. The field spell would be the brick. But imagine this, right? You just activate Skyfire. You get 3 Skyfires. You get the field spell. You activate the field spell. You send 3 Skyfires away. You summon the Hamon from wherever it is. It doesn't matter. And then you can use the field spell to draw 2 cards. So out of this, you are getting 2 draws. You're getting 2 draws, and you're getting a free level 10 on the board that you can do with, and it's 4,000 attack. And if you draw, you need a level 10 in hand though. Wait, what? How do I need a level 10 in hand? If you control a sacred beast whose original level is 10. This is 10. Yeah, no, this works. Skyfire. Oh, then you can reveal a level 10 sacred beast monster in your... Ah, okay, I missed that part. Oh, okay. Right. So it would not... This card is not a 1-card combo. Okay, I see. Oh, okay. The Hamon, though, would work. Right? Like, this could work. If you start with the monster in hand, it works. But that does make it significantly worse. Because... If this card alone doesn't do it, if this card alone does not do it, then having to play 3 of it is pretty bad, right? You could, in theory, you can play 6 copies of the Hamon, because you can play 3 Raviel and 3 Hamon, so technically that's also not bad, right? You can play 6 copies of this, but if you ever draw one of the spells without the monsters, it'll do nothing. Okay, so that's fine. Okay. It's risky, but in theory, it still generates a lot of value without locking you into anything, right? But okay. I missed that part. Okay, good. Destruction Chant of the Sacred Beasts. Normal trap. You can only use the first effect, the first and second once per turn each. Special summon a Sacred Beast from hand or grave in defense. Then, if you control 2 or more Sacred Beasts whose original level is 10, you can negate the effects of a face-up. Ooh, that's powerful. Negate the effects of a face-up card and destroy it. You can banish this card from your grave. Fusion summon a Phantasm Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. Okay, so this is an easy way to summon, easy, but this is your way to summon the fusion monster in engine. Okay, you can discard it for the Uriah as well to just get it in the graveyard immediately. Divine Abyss of the Sacred Beasts. It also looks like a BA card with the color schemes on it, except for the Karibo. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. During the main phase, you can place 2 Divine Abyss from your hand, deck, or grave face up on your field. You can send 3 face up Divine Abyss you control to the grave, including this card, then target a face up monster your opponent controls, change it to face down defense. During your opponent's end phase, if this card's in your grave, you can place it on the bottom of the deck. Okay. And that is it. That's a lot of cards. So I see what they're trying to do here. So you have a monster, a spell, and a trap that all basically duplicate into a playset of themselves, right? Like the trap gets you to 3 traps, the spell gets you to 3 spells, and the martyr gets you to 3 monsters. That way you have fodder for sending 3 cards with the same type, because that is a very steep cost otherwise, right? And that way the field spell lets you bring out all of the monsters if you can pull all of this off, right? Which is still, it seems tough to do all of this. And I don't know how viable as a deck it's going to be. Like, it's as its own deck. It feels like this is, I feel like it's more catered towards, like, of course, they wanted to retrain the Sacred Beast into a functioning archetype. And it is, I do think it is functional. I don't know if it needs to be meta necessarily, right? Like, there's I don't know if it's necessarily meta, but also I do think there is some potential with just generically splashing those cards into other decks, like especially the draw engine that I was talking about earlier. Of course, the fact that Skyfire of the Sacred Beast does not work alone is not great, but if you can play technically 3 copies of Raviel and 3 copies of Hamon, they give you a free level 10 body and 2 draws without spending your normal summon, which is potentially really good. Of course, at the cost of running a bunch of bricks, which is not great. But yeah. 3 Varudras. It would only be 1 level 10, right? Where do you get the second level 10 from? The Graceful Cherry also works. Oh yeah, this also works. Yeah, of course. But you do have to play 3 Sacred Beast monsters with different names then. right? It wouldn't work if you just play Hamon and Raviel. And at that point, I guess it's not really a splash or an engine anymore, because at that point you're playing like 20 cards, right? So at that point you're actually playing a Sacred Beast deck, which I guess is fine, right? Yeah. I mean, yeah, in typical Josh fashion, the main thing that I like about this is that it draws cards. But yeah, okay. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even feel like I have to guess whether this is going to be good or not. To me, this feels a little gimmicky overall. It feels like it's not quite broken enough to be a top tier meta deck. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think that matters. I don't think it needs to be. I think one of the main things I like about Chaos Origin is that it's just releasing banger looking Yu-Gi-Oh cards that people are going to be excited for, you know? And this is one of those cards. Like, this archetype, it doesn't matter if it's tier 0 or if it's tier 15. These cards look awesome. And also, I really like the fact that they are not as reliant on cards from like 15 years ago, so that even like newer or returning players can actually play a functioning deck just from Chaos Origin stuff, pretty much, right? Like, because they don't really have synergy with the old like Fallen Paradise from ages ago, right? Like, this card was last printed in Speed Duels in 23. You don't have to get those cards. You can just play the new stuff, and it works, and it still reminds you of the stuff that happened in the anime, right? It still looks very much like those cards. So this is already a win in my book. Like, at the very minimum, this card is gonna look awesome. I think that was the point of Chaos Origin. It's like the new BLS ritual deck. Exactly. I just wanted to point that out. I think that is good. I think that is really important for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that they focus more on like just creating very awesome looking cards, especially like cards that have this like nostalgia to them, right? And I think I much prefer if they just make a new archetype or stuff that isn't completely broken, if I compare it to what they did, let's say Yubel, right? Like, because Yubel, I'm sure was something that a lot of people appreciated that were fans of the GX anime, but for the competitive scene, the Yubel deck was, at least from my perspective, not very good. And this stuff just has no negatives to it, you know. This stuff is just awesome, period. So yeah, cool. I love these. Also, big fan of the Creator retrain, big fan of that card. Good stuff.